Welcome back to part 2 of What If Anakin Declared He Had the Low Ground. Thank you to all of you who watched the first part of this video. To recap what happened in that in case you haven't seen it, the Low Ground had helped Anakin to stab Obi-Wan, and with what seemed to be his last act, he ordered Padme to leave the planet, then give birth to Luke and Leia. Palpatine and Vader think the Jedi Master and the Separatist Council are all dead, but Obi-Wan is rescued by the resident Black Sun Syndicate and is now under the eye of his old foe Maul. If travelling through the lava river had been painful, it did not compare to the torture he was being subjected to under Maul. The Zabrak utilised all of his dark side training to maximise the agony on Obi-Wan, and he soon fell out of consciousness again. The Jedi awoke again to the face of Maul, and he looked hungry to inflict more pain, but Obi-Wan had endured enough and used the reserve of energy to blast Maul into the walls of the room. The Black Sun guards pointed their double-barreled blaster pistols at the Jedi, and through his blurred vision, he prepared for battle. Obi-Wan kicked one of the pistols out of the hands of the soldiers, and rolling beneath the table, he used the surface as a shield and tried to look for an escape. Through the ornate corridors, the Jedi Master hobbled through the doors until he felt the darkness of Maul drop down in front of him. The Zabrak laughed at his feeble attempt of an escape and crushed the pistol wielded by Obi-Wan in his hand, then ignited his own blade. The Jedi Master meditated in front of the floor and could detect the overconfidence from his opponent as he then summoned the biggest force push he could, and Maul flew out of the wall, creating an exit for the Jedi. Obi-Wan gladly ran out of the fortress, and as Maul recovered from his fall, he took the freighter left behind to relative safety. The Jedi Master felt he could not go back to Yoda, even if he had survived his encounter with Palpatine, embarrassed that he had failed in his attempt to detain Vader. His shame had driven him to return to Naboo, seeking to apologise to the Naboo family, but as he approached the planet, the Empire had already made their presence. A small group of ships blockaded the planet, and the Jedi Master knew the way out would be more difficult than his entry, as he landed in the spaceport of Theed. The Jedi then used a mind trick to hire a speeder, and travelled far from the capital city, heading to the scenic lake country to find the Naboo family. Obi-Wan docked by the shore after a lengthy journey, and as he knocked on the giant doors, the saddened members of the family greeted him. The Jedi Master bowed to them in shame, as he recalled the fate of Padme on Mustafar, and they sought vengeance against the fallen Anakin. Although they did not have regal control over the planet, they had a political influence in the Imperial Senate, and Obi-Wan finally managed to reunite with Bail Organa again. The Alderaan senators were relieved to find the Jedi Master alive, and asked him to join his rebellion, which he accepted upon hearing that Yoda had also failed to defeat the Emperor. As the Empire had recorded Obi-Wan to be amongst the casualties of Order 66, the Jedi's first mission was to look for any further survivors, and he decided he could also try to find Maul. The Jedi Master took possession of one of the last Jedi fighters, and knowing Maul was one to move frequently, he headed for another one of the Black Sun's bases, on the planet of Ord Mantell. Equipped with his lightsaber, he cautiously touched down in one of the criminal-run spaceports, then searched for the base. Through the shady streets, the Jedi felt the darkness of Maul beneath a hood, and ignited his blade, much to the shock of the civilians around him. The Zabrak thought Obi-Wan looked weak, and this time he would not allow him to evade him, as they clashed blades. Maul had been right about the Jedi, as his injuries from Mustafar had not completely healed, and it was only his mastery of Sorisu that was keeping Obi-Wan alive. The Jedi began to quickly tire, and Maul sent a hard kick that left Obi-Wan tied amongst the market stalls. The Jedi Master prepared to be one with the Force, as Maul lifted his blade until the body of the Zabrak dropped to the ground, with a vibro knife through his back. Clone Sergeant Hunter had been trying to find a way to Old Ord Mantell City when he found the Jedi in trouble, and chose to intervene. Obi-Wan is helped to his feet, and after they had returned from their mission, he asked them if they had wanted to join the rebellion. Having experienced the control of the Empire, the clones agreed to join their cause, hoping to also gain freedom from the pursuing bounty hunter. For their first mission, the clones and the Jedi easily destroyed the Black Sun base and its occupants, as without their leader, they were disorganised and lost. Now Obi-Wan could start to consider repairing his failures. That is it for part 2 of What If Anakin Declared He Had the Low Ground. If you'd like to see a part 3 soon, please like this video, turn on that notification bell, click that subscribe button on this channel, as well as on my other channel What If Films. And as always, leave a comment on what if you'd all like to see next, and how I can improve my videos. Thank you all very much for watching, and see you next time.